Hi, Ernie.
Hi.
Oh, Ernie, where are you? Where are you, Ernie?
I'm home.
Oh, I never saw that view before.
Just,
I
just, just remember tonight is a very special Shia Baharaba Doctor
Yes.
and
I'm,
the Sagerstein.
yeah, I
And
won't be there,
at
unfortunately.
8 o'clock.
No, but I'll Zoom. You can Zoom. You can call in on the Zoom.
Oh, okay. Same Zoom.
Because I
Why?
got a lot of people who couldn't make it, so I sent out the Zoom number.
Very good.
Where did you send the Zoom number to? I didn't get it.
Well, you know how to get on the Zoom.
The same Zoom number. There was
And
some,
I'm coming to your house.
yeah, the people
I
who
heard there's refreshments.
we have
Oh.
refreshments. Yeah, we have refreshments.
What?
We have refreshments. Okay, we're on Tess, Ahmed Aleph, 9. So Lo Sagia Yado, V'nemar Lo Sasig Yado, both by the Kohen Gadol. Bimi Shaboli de Aniyas Fashiras. So this refers to the Korban Oil of Yored, the sliding scale chatas. If somebody doesn't know that he's Tomei, he walks into the base of Migdash. So if you're wealthy, you bring an animal. If you're less wealthy, you bring two birds. If you have less money, you bring a mincha. So only those people that have the ability to be poor and rich, Yatza, Nasi, Mashiach, She'ein Boladanias, the Melech and the Kohen Gadol, there's no shaykhs to Anias. Why not? Nasi, Dichsiv, the Asachas Mikol Mitzvos Hashem Elokav, Mi She'ein Al Gabav El Hashem Elokav. And Melech, the only one who's above the Melech is Hashem. So there's no Anius by him. Mashiach, Dichsiv, HaKohen Gadol Me'echav. The Kohen Gadol has to be wealthier than all of the other Kohanim. Shehu Gadol Me'echav, Benoi in beauty, Bekoach in strength, Bechochma V'oisher. So there's no Anius when it comes to the Kohen Gadol. Acher Mar Minayin Shem Ein Lo, Gadleu Mishalachav. If the Kohen Gadol is chosen to be Kohen Gadol, and at the time of his choice, he doesn't have money, you take money from his brothers and you give to him. Talmud Loimar, V'akohen Gadol me'echav asher yutzak al rosho. Gadleu me'echav. Give him money from the other Kohen. Boy b'nei Ravinam Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Nasi shenitztara. A mitzora, where there's also a korban oil of yored there. Do we say mitchadachi? Listen, he's a melech, so he's a nitche. Oh, mifter potter. Or do we say legamre potter? Maybe at the time he's a nasi, he can't bring the korban oil, but when he's not the nasi anymore, maybe he would have to bring it. Or maybe he's potter legamre. Omerle dilach o de gazo. In fact, does he bring his own personal money or the oitzer? He takes from the oitzer, so his chiyuv doesn't go away. Kohen Gadol doesn't have to bring any korban oil of yord. Omer Rava my time, no? Rabbi Kiva. Omer Kra. Zeh korban Aaron vanav. This is the korban of Aaron. Asher yakrivu Hashem b'yom mashachotos yitzray fasolos mincha. Zu. The Asir Sa'efa Ba'choivelo. But Venacheres Ba'choivelo. That's the only obligatory korban he has. Ve'ema kimimat le'rachmana memi midali dalus. Remember, there's 3 levels by oil of yord. You have an animal, 2 birds, and a mincha. So that's dali dalus. Maybe he's only pushed away from the cheapest thing. Umayni Asir Sa'efa, the mincha. Aval aniyas v'ashiros, maybe wealthy and one step lower, maybe lo mati rachman, maybe the Torah allows him to bring it. So the Gemara says lo sakdech. That doesn't make sense. Dichsiv, when it by the korban oil of yord, it says v'chiper alav hakohen al chataso asher chata me'achas me'ela. Hamiskaper ba'achas, miskaper b'kulan. If you have kapara with one of these types korbanos, you get kapara any. Ein miskaper ba'achas, ein miskaper b'kulan. Means once you're out of the parsha in even dali dalus, then you're out of the parsha completely. Ela me'ata dichsiv ayaki hasham lachas me'ele Hachanami shekolam chayv ba'achas, b'chayv b'kulam, v'shem is chayv ba'achas, em is chayv b'kulam. The chora, it's all for one, all for all, one for all, and all for one. If that's the truth, aloma t'nan Rabbi Kiva oimer, nosi chayv chutz mishmias kol. The melech has to bring a korban except for the swearing that he doesn't know testimony, because there's no edus by a melech. So he can bring others. It's not achas v'lo b'kulam. How do you mitar? It's abai v'rama damar tarvayu. May achas mashmalei. But le'achas lo mashmalei. Rabbi Kiva learns from the word me'achas, but not le'achas. What's the difference? Maishna me'achas. The mashmalei. The kosver echmon al-basov gabi asir se'efa. Because the Torah listed him that he brings the asir se'efa. Shekol de mechayiv asir se'efa mechayiv b'kulan. To tell you that if you're mechayiv in the dali dalus, then you're mechayiv the other ones. The Esau gedayt mechayiv ba'achas avol b'shem mechayiv b'kulan. If you're going to teach me that maybe the Kohen Gadol could bring the other two, nichtav v'lahai ma'achas me'ela b'dalus, I should have written it by the birds, which is the middle. Oinami b'ashir, it's the animal. Since it didn't, it tells us that it's not, once you're potter from one, you're potter from all of them. Mishnah. And this Mishnah sort of is a summary of everything we've learned so far. Any mitzvah that if you're mezid, you'd bring a koretz, and if you're shogig, you bring a chatas, like eating chaylev, eating dam, sleeping with a nida. In all these cases, if you're a yachid, maybe kizbo se'ira, you bring a female lamb or female goat as your korban chatas. Nasi only brings a sa'ir, a male goat. Meshiach Beis Din, if they only bring if they made a mistake in psak, right? Then they both mevi'in par, right? The parlam davar shel tzibur. Uvavodah zara, for avodah zara is separate. Hayachid v'anasi v'mashiach. If they made a shogeg, they thought this thing is not avodah zara, they bowed down to it. Either a yachid or a melech or a kohen gadol, mevi'in seir, they bring a female sa'ir. And if Beis Din paskin that such and such a thing is not avodah zarah, and more than 51% of Klal Yisrael bow down to it, they bring a par v'so'ir. Par la'oila, v'so'ir l'chatas. Asham talui, you have two pieces of fat. One is permitted, one is chaylev. And you eat one of them, but you don't know which one you ate. So sort of it's a suffix, maybe you have to bring a chatas. The korban you bring is an asham talui. Hayachid v'anasi, chayavin bo. The private Jew and the melech brings those. But Mashiach hu Beis Din P'turin. There is no Asham Tola by Kohen Gadol and none by the Beis Din. Asham Vadoi, a regular Asham, like when you, if you steal something, certain Averis make you bring a Korban Asham. Hayachid ve'anasi v'Mashiach chayavin. The private individual, the Kohen Gadol and the melech bring it. Who based in P'turin. What about korban oil of yored? What about the sliding scale like tumas migdash udoshav? So shmias kol valbitus v'sayim, right? If you swear falsely, or you swear that you didn't know edus, or val tumas migdash udoshav, all of these you bring a korban oil of yored. There is no korban oil of yored by Beis Din P'turin. Yachid nasi v'mashiach chayavin. The private individual, the melech of the Kohen Gadol, bring it. Except she'ein Kohen Gadol Mashiach chayav al tumas migdash ukdash. The Kohen Gadol is not chayav for averis made because of tumah. The Rabbi Shimon. Umayim mevi'in. What do they bring? Korban olav yored. May be soft. Because again, the melech, there's no aniyas by the melech. Tanya Rabbi Shimon Ayanois in Klal. He gave a principle kol shayachid ba'asham tolui. So anasa kiyotzebo, the melech would follow. But Mashiach hu Beis Din P'turin, they don't have to bring. Kol shu b'asham vaday. somebody who has to bring an ashram. Nasi u'Mashiach also bring it. Ubeizim p'turim. Shmias hakol ubitus v'sayim v'tumis megdush ukdashav. These are various bezdin is potter. Nasi u'Mashiach, the melech and the kohen gadol is chayiv. Rather, l'she'ena nasi chayiv b'shmias kol, because he's not involved in edus. And v'lo Mashiach b'tumis megdush ukdashav. And then the general principle called shehu ba'oil v'yored. If he's in the parsha of the sliding scale, nasi kayotzebo, the nasi would follow that. But Mashiach, the Kohen Gadol, based in P'turim. Well, that's a problem. Hagufa kasha. Amrit, shein Mashiach chayv b'tumas megdush ukdashav. Fine. B'tumas megdush ukdashav u'shapat of Shmias kol b'tus same chayv. How could you say later on he's potter? Ema seifa. Kol shuboil v'yord nasi kayotzebo Mashiach based in P'turim. Ktani Mashiach based in P'turim. Ma based in P'turim mekulan. Af Mashiach potter mekulan. So we have a stira regarding the Kohen Gadol. Kasha nadodi. Right? They're contradictory. Amar Ravuna. Right? Rishon loy kasha. Kan, when he's chayiv, he brings it bedalus. That the two birds. When it says it's potter bin dali dalus. There is no mincha by him. Rabbi Shimon Sofer like Rabbi Kiva b'chado, poligla b'chado. He holds like Rabbi Kiva in one aspect, but argues with him with the other. Sofer like Rabbi Kiva b'dali dalus. He agrees with Rabbi Kiva that there is no connection to the Kohen Gadol to the most low korban, which is the mincha. But upalgal bedalos, Rabbi Kiva says, once you're potter from one of them, you're potter for all three. But Rabbi Shimon says, no, the Kohen Mashiach has a shaychus to the dalus. He can bring the two birds. Ela shein Kohen Gadol chayiv. We said the Kohen Gadol is not chayiv on any korbanos for tumas migdash ukdashim. Amar Chizkiya, my time, Rabbi Shimon. It says by somebody who didn't know that he was Tom and he walked in the base of Mikdash. V'ish asher yitma v'lo yischata v'nichvasa nefesh mitoch hakahal ki es Mikdash Hashem timei mei nidal zorak lav tamehu. This then applies b'misha korban shavu lakol. The korban he brings is similar to everybody else. Yotzeh zeh shein korban shavu lakol, not the Kohen Gadol, because he brings a par when he's a shogeg, and the kahal brings a kivsa. Im kain freit gemar nasi nami. The melech also ain't korban shavu lakal because he brings a so'ir. But shavu bekapor yom kippurim. Yeah, but the melech gets his atonement with the so'ir lazazel with the rest of Klal Yisrael, and the Kohen Gadol does not. Right? Im kain kohanim nami. Lo shavu lakal bekapor yom kippurim. The Kohen Gadol also doesn't get the same atonement. They have their own par, and they should therefore be potter for being tumas mekdash ukdasha. So the Gemara says, "Kohanim shavi lakal b'shar mitzvah shalash kula." The Kohanim get the same atonement as the rest of Klal Yisrael by other mitzvahs, not tumah. Right? Mashiach nami hashavi b'shar mitzvah shalash. The Kohen Gadol gets the same thing. Elam Ravai Ma'achi mi shechatasu shavu liyichidim. The Yochid is completely comparable to the call, my new call. Because the call that made a mistake, B'shogeg, without her Raz Bezdin, they're treated like Yechidim. But the Kohen Gadol, his Chatas is never like a regular Yochid. He only brings a Chatas when he also made a psak in error. He makes a mistake, I think this is kosher and he eats it, he doesn't bring a chatas for that. He has to paskin that it's kosher and eat it. Rabbi Eliezer Oimer, Hanasi Mevi So'ir, that the Melech brings a So'ir and not a korban oil of a yor. On Rav Yechon, non Rabbi Eliezer, Ela Betumas Mekdash Ukdasha. He's talking about if the Melech made an error, an aveira regarding Tumah. Hoil v'nema karispo. Kivi kivua. Like a regular chatas kavua. So he brings, if he committed an act b'shogeg on a regular kares thing, he brings a soyer. So similarly, betumas mekdash ukdashav, since kares is mentioned, he also brings a soyer. But the other averos, besides tumas mekdash ukdashav, like shmias kol and the other things, there's no kares there. there the Nasi would bring a standard korban oil of urine. And Amar of Papa Chanami Mistavra. It's logical. The Isa Gedach Rabbi Ezra Kulein Komar. He's going on all the Averas that the Mishnah mentioned. Michte Soyer Nasi. The sword that the Nasi brings, Upar Mashiach, and the part that the Kohen Gadol brings. They bring those when a regular Yachid would bring a Chatas. So Nisni Nami Mashiach maybe par b'shmias kol ubitus v'sayim. We should say that the Kohen Gadol should also bring a par by shmias kol ubitus v'sayim, similar to the comparison that we do with the Yachid's Chatas. Ella midilok tani Mashiach. Well, the Ezra did not mention the Kohen Mashiach. He mentioned the Nasi only. Shma mina tumas migdash ukdash of Kohen. He's dealing with the tumas migdash ukdash that the Mashiach is potter, like Reb Shimon. And on that sin alone, the Melech would bring a soy. Amar Ravuna bered Rav Nosan Rav Papa. Mimai, how can you prove this? Dilma Rabbi Eliezer Kulin Koy. Maybe he's dealing with all of the Averis. But Ubi Mashiach serve like Rabbi Akiva, Shomer Mashiach Pater Bekulon. Maybe also like Rabbi Akiva that the Kohen Gadol doesn't bring any of them. Armalev Rabbi Akiva mi Pater le mi par. Rabbi Akiva doesn't say that the Kohen Gadol doesn't bring a par when he makes a mistake regarding psak and commits the Avera. He's only pottering from Korban all over yard because there's no Dali Dalas. V'sulo median, you don't have to prove any more from there. Amar Rav Yochanan Moed Rav Eliezer she'ein mevi asham, that the Melech doesn't bring an asham tolui. Tani Tana Kamed Rav Sheshes, asham tolui ba'al tumas migdash udasham, that you bring a suspended asham by tumas migdash. Amar lei, Damar lecha mani, who told you this? Rav Eliezer, the Amar hoil v'nemar bo kares kivakavua maisi. Since Koris is mentioned by Tumas Migdash Ukdoshav, it's like the regular korban that you bring if you eat chaylev or dam, nasi soyer aleh, and therefore maisi nasi soyer. The melech has to bring a soyer, since it's comparable to like a chatas kavua. Avraham Avichon and Rabbi Eliezer she'ein maybe Hashem toli. Kasha. So we have a problem. One seems to suggest he does bring the Hashem toli, and the other says he doesn't bring the Hashem toli. Hadron alach kohen Mashiach. Hadron alach kohen Mashiach. Hadron alach kohen Mashiach. We will stop here. Tomorrow we will also learn at 7:00.
Right. Thank you.
At 7 tomorrow, okay.
Okay.